What a wonderful, wonderful film, inspiring. You may recognize some of the stars of that film around this room, maybe sitting at your table, and you're about to hear from a great number of them in just a moment. A few housekeeping notes right here. We have some awards coming up, some wonderful awards for people who've done some terrific work, as well as our corporate donors as well. And I want to point out one thing that may be on all of your tables. You see there's a little flyer there. If you see it, hold it up. There you go, right there. That's text to donate. There are instructions on that form for how you can text in money during this evening. There's no need to wait until the end when we're going to ask you for money again. You can do it right now, and I encourage you all, do it now, do it often, do it at every course. You can't eat now, by the way. There are appetizers on the table. We invite you to enjoy your meals as the evening continues. And now it is my honor to introduce two incredible people involved with GOSO who have had the chance to meet over the last couple of weeks. I want to introduce you to Jeffrey Golia. He is the director of GOSO Works. You saw him on the film right there. And Sarah Blanco, who's the director of programs, to another star of not just the film, but of GOSO in general. Guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Blanco, the director of programs at GOSO. And we are thrilled everyone came out to show support of GOSO and our clients tonight. This is the highlight of the evening when our GOSO guys speak and kind of share their story.
Hey folks, I'm Jeffrey Golia. I'm the director of the employment development program GOSO Works. Well, we're going to hear from the guys now. So first up is Malik Go. He recently started an internship at Ovenly, one of our 60 employer partners. I said 50 in the video, but it's we've gotten 10 more since then. And thank you. Ovenly was also our 2015 employer partner. Malik's a really great guy, and I'm excited to hear him speak. So let's welcome him to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Malik Go. I'm a client here at GOSO. I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight. I'd also like to thank GOSO for the continuous opportunities they present to us GOSO clients. I was raised in the Baychester area of the Bronx. At the time, it was very poverty-stricken, filled with violence and drugs. Adapting to my environment, I got in trouble left and right. Fortunately, though, I moved back and forth between the homes of my mother and father. I wasn't able to get too involved in the crime within a specific neighborhood, avoiding incarceration. Instead, my mother and I made a conscious decision to move me out to Virginia. There, I finished high school and completed a semester of college. Virginia came as a form of rehabilitation for me, positively. Instead of me having to go to Rikers Island like some of the unfortunate guys that come here at GOSO. I returned home, however, though, I returned home to New York, where I wasted a year trying not to return to crime to support myself. When I got home, my older cousin, Chanel Tessafe, who's somewhere here in the crowd, he introduced me to GOSO, who he knew would benefit me substantially. There I met people like Jeffrey Golia, Julia Friedman, Chelsea Kramer, Jenna Roth, Sarah Blanco, Celine Kappen, and many more who involved me in workshops, individual and group counseling that prepared me to excel in the professional environment. GOSO got me an internship at a Mexican grill restaurant called Dos Toros. From there, my permanent customer service got me a job opportunity at a company called Convene, where I was a service technician, making $17.50 an hour. Thank you. Currently, I'm getting back into school to get my degree, and I'm looking to obtain a job with a new company where I can grow with the company and the business and display my true potential. I would like to emphasize the impact that GOSO had on my mind state. Before coming to GOSO, I was more of a selfish person. Kind of, if you're not doing for me, I can't do for you. You can't really live like that. They helped me consider everyone else, as well as myself, creating nothing but great opportunities for me and everyone around me. This all came from GOSO, who came more as like a family than a business, or like a or like a pro kind of, you know, an officer you have to meet up with to check you every time. It's like a family that wants to see you prosper. I would like to thank Mr. Bob Swanson, who helped me illustrate my appreciation for GOSO. To GOSO, I'm truly grateful. Thank you.
Hi. Next, I'd like to introduce Jonathan Cameron, a young man who makes the afternoon rounds at GOSO every day after work to connect with staff, to connect with clients. He's a real leader. I refer to him as the mayor of GOSO because he's always making his presence known. So take it away, Jonathan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Cameron. I'm just an average young man from the Bronx, and I lost my mother at a young age, and I believe that's the core of where my anger comes from. Not to mention my father wasn't in the picture much either. Me not being able to see and speak to my mother anymore led me to do a lot of stupid things. And not to mention the neighborhood I grew up in didn't make circumstances any better. During my teenage years, I ran the streets with my friends. We terrorized our neighborhood, and that's what landed me in jail. During my incarceration, I began to question myself. Did I want this life? Jail is no place to be. Having my freedom taken away from me was by far one of the worst experiences I've ever encountered. When I was released, I returned to my high school, and I obtained my high school diploma. But for the next 2 years, I sat around doing nothing with my life, procrastinating, until a friend of mine, King Tolan, he introduced me to GOSO. After numerous attempts to get me to join the program, I finally made the decision to come. And I have to say that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. GOSO has helped me get my life together. GOSO has helped me get my life together. They made me look at life differently. They gave me hope. After a year being a part of GOSO, I obtained my 10-hour construction certification and my general industries OSHA certification. I worked a paid internship at a place called Dogly Devoted, and now I have a full-time porter position I work. I've been doing this for a year now. Not only has GOSO helped me get on track, they kept me out of trouble, and they provided opportunity. You just have to take advantage of what GOSO has to offer. They have workshops that help you find a job and activities that keep you occupied and off the streets. They even helped me work on my dream of maybe one day becoming an actor. I can honestly say I'm happy I walked into GOSO the day that I did. Because of GOSO, my life is so much better. They make me feel like I could be someone, like I matter, and make something of my life. GOSO is more than just a job readiness program, they're a family, and I'm happy to have them a part of my life. Thank you.
So next up is King Tolan, who was mentioned by Jonathan. He wanted me to remind you, or to let you guys know, that we've known each other for a long time, and seen him through a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities. Right now, he's making things happen both in the college classroom and also in the studio, and hope he'll talk more about that. But let's give him a hand. King Tolan.
How's everyone doing tonight? That's good to hear. I appreciate everyone coming out to hear us speak tonight. As you know, my name is King Tolan, and I'm an alumni at GOSO. I've been a part of the program, and I'm an active member for 4 years now. And thank you. The time I have on the stage cannot express how tremendous GOSO has been in my life, but I'm gonna make it work for y'all. I was raised in the inner city, the Bronx, New York, West Burnside, and I started off as a young kid running the streets, attaining to the life of crime, just getting shot, gang violence, which eventually landed me up on Rikers Island. That's where I got connected with GOSO. On Rikers Island, I met with GOSO, I was interviewed, I was accepted, and I was waited on upon my release to come to GOSO. However, I never went. Once I came home, I was back in the streets, and I resorted back to the life of crime, which eventually landed me back on Rikers Island the second time. Spending over a year on Rikers Island is very stressful. In and out of solitary confinement, it takes a toll on you. And balancing whether you want more for yourself with the violence that's going on is also a struggle. So all of that time, I decided that I wanted more for myself, and I was gonna work towards it. And I prayed to God every night I get out of there. And thank God I did. Upon my release the second time, that's when I voluntarily came to GOSO. And they were still willing to accept me with open arms, even though I didn't go the first time. So when I first came home from jail, I was broke. I had no job. When I was locked up, that's when Hurricane Sandy happened, so all of my clothes was flooded. I was unenrolled, unemployed, and I was just struggling. So I turned to GOSO for some assistance. That's when they landed me my first job delivering pizzas at Papa John's. I know it's funny, it wasn't much, but at the time I was desperate and I was appreciative. I had some money in my pocket and I didn't have to resort back to the life of crime, so I was thankful. What I appreciate most about GOSO is how they accept you. They already know your history, they know your background, so you can always be yourself, and they're willing to work with you as long as you're willing to work with yourself, and they motivate you, which empowered me. Upon my release from Rikers Island the second time, GOSO has helped me readapt to society, and despite my past, they let me know that I am someone, and they provided a community-based, family-oriented environment that lets you know you're never alone, and anything positive you want to do, they will support you, and that's a fact. GOSO has helped me how to articulate myself, my mannerism, dress professionally, interviewing skills, you name it, they did it, no matter what. They put me in a suit, a tie, shoes, and they made me feel important, and they helped me believe that I could be, look, we all look alike right now. We got on ties, suits. I feel good. I got on this hat. Well, entering GOSO, after they landed me my job at Papa John's, they helped me get back on track by obtaining some of the things like my birth certificate, social, OSA construction certificate, security license. They even helped me get my driver's permit, and then they helped me get my driver's license, which I failed the first time, but they didn't give up. They stuck with me, and I got it the second time. Most of all, GOSO has helped me to enroll back in college, because prior years before, I absolutely gave up on education, and GOSO restored that motivation for me. They helped me apply for different schools, get accepted. They helped me with the financial aid process, everything. And now I'm currently about to graduate this spring from Kingsborough Community College. I want to give a special thanks to GOSO for that, because not only am I graduating from the same college as my sister, they made it all possible. They provided me things like transportation. We all know how expensive MTA is in New York City, but that's one thing I don't have to worry about thanks to GOSO. They provided me with all of my textbooks, and they relieved me of all financial stresses so I could focus on my school and get A's and B's. So after I graduate this spring, I plan on transferring to City College, where I will obtain my second degree in media technology. And speaking of media technology, GOSO absolutely support my dreams and my goals for becoming a music artist. Through GOSO connection with the Osborne Association, I was able to land a job at a program called Vocabulary. Oh, you know that? Yeah. Hi. Well, in case any of the rest of you don't know, Vocabulary is a program, and they produce and distribute educational hip-hop songs worldwide from grades kindergarten through 12th, and I'm one of the artists and ghostwriters there. Not too long ago, GOSO recently held their first hip-hop competition, which landed me a spot on a radio show with one of the most famous DJs in New York City. Thanks to them for that. And GOSO is also about connections and networking. They let me meet fabulous people like you, everybody I'm meeting tonight, and who knows what position I can land thanks to the networking here tonight. I'm available, guys, I'm available. But no, seriously, GOSO, they don't only help me like financially with things I need, but they also help me emotionally. They let me know I'm not alone. They provide mentoring, support on any positive thing you want to do in life. And now, as my friend Jonathan Cameron, I'm motivating all my other friends to come to GOSO and be a part of it. And I'm also motivating myself to see me make a change. I want to thank GOSO for giving me the opportunity to grow as a person, and I want to thank all the amazing staff that has helped me and worked with me over these years. Jeffrey, Sarah, Julia, Jenna, everybody. Bob for helping me put this together, just everybody. Even the staff that's not together but still connected, we still a family. And thank everyone for coming out tonight. Chelsea.
Wow, King lives up to his name, doesn't he? Our last speaker tonight is Ryan Deford, a GOSO alumni with a very compelling story. We're so grateful to have him here tonight. Thank you, Ryan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You guys look so much better from up here. Well, my name is Ryan Deford, and I'm no one special. I was born and raised in Flushing, Queens, and first and foremost, I'm so appreciative of GOSO and everyone here for giving me the opportunity to share a piece of my story. 11 years ago, when I was 15 years old, I was falsely accused of a murder that I didn't commit. I was with the wrong crowd, hanging out with the wrong people. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. That led me to spending the next 5 years incarcerated in Rikers Island, denied bail 3 times, awaiting my trial to prove my innocence. During that time in Rikers is when GOSO came into my life in the form of a man named Richard Block. Richard played a major role in my life during that chaotic time because he believed in me when I didn't yet believe in myself. Because of GOSO's mission to enhance and empower young men, Richard encouraged me to pursue my education and make the best out of what seemed to be the worst possible situation. He continued to visit me and other potential GOSO clients on about a weekly basis. I decided to make the best out of my situation by bettering myself physically and mentally, and then I went on in the Department of Education in Rikers, acquired my high school Regents diploma and my GED. Thank you. 35 plus adjourned court dates later, I finally started my trial and was acquitted on all charges and found innocent. What seemed to be my biggest setback was actually just a setup for a great comeback into society. Tasting freedom for the first time in 5 years, I attended GOSO, where they helped me set goals together in a positive direction. They helped me put together my resume, applied for colleges, and kept me focused on growth. Fast forward, 6 years later of getting out and staying out, my relationship with GOSO is better than ever. I meet with my mentor, Richard Block, periodically to catch up, and I'm now an independent partner leading the expansion of a global marketing company in New York. I feel like I'm just getting started, and I'm super excited about the future. As my final thoughts, I would like to personally thank GOSO, their staff, Mr. G, Mr. Richard Block, for positively impacting my life and countless others through GOSO. I would like to thank each and every one of you here tonight, because without each and every one of you, there really would be no GOSO. Thank you.
Special thanks to Malik and Jonathan and King and Ryan for those words. I think they're inspiring to a lot of us, and you've all been through a lot, but more importantly, you're all working incredibly hard right now, and we all have so much respect for the efforts that you continue to make with GOSO. So thank you for sharing your time tonight. King, I should mention, by the way, I met King before, and he asked me why I was here, and I said, I'm going to be the MC tonight, and King said, hey, I'm an MC also. I said, that's exactly what I do, sort of. Not really. We want to take this opportunity to thank our special patrons tonight, those who purchased tables for more than $10,000. So thank you to all of you. I think we have your names up on the screen right there. So take a look up there and a big round of applause. The silent auction you can see back there, the lights are still on back there. The silent auction is still going on for another little bit until 8:30 or so. Please head back there if you like to bid on some of those wonderful items we see back there. And we're going to have a live ask coming up a little bit later in the evening, so there'll be yet another chance to give, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're going to take a short break where you can eat in relative peace, but we'll be back in just a few minutes.